Welcome back to this channel, where justice doesn't whisper, it roars. Today's case? A courtroom standoff between Judge Simpson and Monica Witchick. A woman claiming bad luck, broken cars, and family chaos as excuses for missing a mandatory alcohol test. But here's the catch. The judge isn't buying it. What starts as a simple probation check turns into a showdown of truth versus excuses, with potential jail time on the line. Stay tuned, because this judge is about to make a statement that'll echo through the courtroom.
I've been taking this seriously. I don't miss anything. Even with those sober league.
You missed it. Monica Leanne Wyachek, 24G 305-990A.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So, your name, ma'am?
What's that? Just go to have up the race.
Took her plea to being positive on a chemical test on September 16th. I ordered her to test that day on November 29th. So the court date was September 29th, rather. I took her plea, told her to test today, set it for sentencing. She didn't go test. Why didn't she test?
Your Honor, that wasn't my intention. I had every means to go test.
Why didn't she test?
Well, I only had one vehicle with my husband. He took off on me. He thought I had other people to call. I called everybody that I could.
What else happened? What else happened? Did she miss another test, or
I don't believe so. She just didn't appear for that day, Your Honor.
are you sure?
I'll have to double check.
Please double check. I know. Please double check if you need to. I don't understand this, Ms. Wycheck. You live in Gibraltar, right? You tested DNA, right? You couldn't take an Uber, you couldn't get a cab, you couldn't get a Lyft, you couldn't get anybody to drive you, and you didn't have a bike to drive.
I didn't have any.
You are forcing me to send you to jail now.
And there it is. The judge's patience just ran out. Notice how she keeps pressing on the "why didn't you test" question? That's not small talk. It's the legal heart of this hearing. When you're on probation and fail to test, it's treated almost the same as testing positive. The defendant's excuse about transportation won't cut it here. Judges hear these every day, but what they need is compliance, not chaos. What do you think, viewers? Should personal struggles ever excuse ignoring a direct court order?
You can't do this.
Today.
No, I don't want you to test today. I think you're on a bender is what I think. That's what I think. And Emily would tell us that if she was here. Ma'am, when I tell somebody to test, I didn't ask you to drive to Oklahoma. Don't come in here and come in with this. You know, I was feeling sorry for you. I thought, okay, she's almost to the end. And then I'm getting statements from the probation officer that, did you send the probation officer a email?
Victoria, yes, I did.
Pam, I want to see if there's emails from Ms. Wyachek to Emily. Sometime, if you guys can get in her computer, or emails after the 29th, up until, say, the 2nd or 3rd, if you can check, okay? Do you have any information on that?
Her caller hasn't been called since the 29th.
Yes. No. I'm talking, hang on. There was some email that was sent to Emily. I need somebody to find that email. It was either the 29th or the 30th, possibly the 1st, by Ms. Wyachek. Okay? Thanks.
Her caller was called this morning, but she technically still could test this evening for testing.
Judge,
I have that recorder's line, so.
This is not good.
I told my color was orange, and now.
Well, let's not worry about that, because we can clarify whether your color is orange, lime, purple, pink. The point is that I told you to test, and you didn't go test. This is not some voluntary testing facility we have next door. It's not go if you feel like it. She's in trouble. I was worried about her in the very beginning. I mean, you drove into the back of a patrol car. You drove into the back of a patrol car.
Very seriously.
Well, you didn't take it seriously on the 29th when I told you to go test. I mean, I don't want to sit here and,
A lot of personal things. My husband has health issues. I'm on the verge of losing my home. I'm having a lot of things that happen all at once. I'm trying to get a job at the end of this month. He's waiting to go back to his job, so he's working. He's gonna be working by the end of this week. And we've been broke.
why'd you lose your job?
I was working 15 hours a day for the past 2 years. And I pointed out, when he pointed out at network, they have to let go.
You pointed out due to what?
Just being late or
Yeah.
throughout the amount of time.
I mean, I don't want to, you seem like a really nice lady. I thought that before, I think it now, but I'm not surprised.
Been trying to
I'm-
work this whole time.
Well, you got terminated from employment because you were irresponsible. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You are,
Balancing all of this by myself.
well, you have a husband, right?
Doing good. He's got health issues. He's hasn't been around like that. And when losing his job, having made him go into a mental breakdown. So I've been doing all this by myself.
How many children do you have?
My son's autistic.
What do you have to say?
Judge, I think at this point, with such a recent positive, and it's kind of a red flag when you get a positive, like, I think there's only 10 more days before it's gonna be off probation. I would ask the court to consider, continuing the probation, and maybe a counseling.
You were gonna be positive. You can tell your lawyer what you want. You can tell anybody else what you want. You're not going to fool me. You were going to be positive for alcohol on the 29th, which is why you did not go and show up and test. Ironically, I'd made up my mind that if you went and tested negative, that I was going to be very lenient with you. But when people don't show up for their testing,
This moment right here, that's the turning point. Judge Simpson draws a clear legal line. If you skip your test, it's as if you failed it. This isn't just about alcohol, it's about accountability. The judge even says she'd have shown leniency if the test was clean, which means the defendant could have walked away with mercy. Instead, she's now facing jail. Think about that. One missed test, and the whole future flips. Would you risk it, or would you show up no matter what?
they are sending a clear sign that they are going to be positive. And I'm going to consider them to be positive. Well, you can shake your head all you want, but I'm telling you, I feel very strongly about it. Nobody's going to convince me I'm wrong. Yes, there are things that happen, but I promise you, if I told you I'd give you $2,000 to show up to DNA testing that day, you'd have been there. Ma'am, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt. Why weren't you able to?
She wasn't around during that time to come pick me up. My husband was going through mental breakdown. I have the text of him threatening me and wasn't able to cope. I wasn't able to get out of the house.
Where was he at? He left for where?
And he just took off. And he's been bipolar, going back and forth.
Shane stated that it'll take a few minutes for him to recover the email if it's there.
And just to clarify what to expect, I was aware that there was an email and it looks like it was sent, but it's just half of a sentence. Really no content.
Yeah. I just,
I'm gonna have them retrieve the,
If I could, we do have a letter from her therapist, and I will note in the therapy, it does state that she's compliant with the current plan, her prognosis is looking good on the treatment. But it does state here, the therapist stated that she reported to her that she quit her job, not that she was fired.
I don't care if you quit. I don't care if you were fired because you weren't showing up or showing up late, or a combination thereof. You're 30, how old? Just can't. You just can't ignore court orders. Do you have a valid license right now? Yes? Why didn't you drive to DNA?
have vehicle.
How many vehicles do you and your husband own? Have a seat. I'll see what happens when he pulls the emails, okay? Ally Bank versus Brent. We calling Monica Wyachek. 24G305 305 9908.
That's going on preparation.
Sure, what has been not the last.
We were able to get into Emily's emails. The defendant did send an email on Monday, September 29th at 12:47 PM. Quote, please help me tell the judge, ... That was it.
Were you drunk?
No, that was actually my husband, and then he ended up calling her.
You got a drinking problem. I mean, I'm sorry. That's what I'm seeing out of this whole thing. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. You're making a lot of excuses. I think you're rationalizing. I don't know why your husband thinks he can send something to probation on under your name. I know what's going on. I can tell. I'm serious. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to figure out which direction I need to go. You didn't show up because, as far as I'm concerned, you were drinking within 3 days and you knew you'd be positive. You can give me all this about not showing up because your husband threatening you. Your husband, who was threatening you, I think you said earlier, is now sending emails. On what day was that?
September 29th, the last.
September 29th. And he's sending emails and you're telling me he's threatening you, and September 29th was the day that you were supposed to test. Young lady.
I was actually moving out and living in with my mom for a little bit with the kids. So it'd be easier for me if she's going to help me with everything, now that she knows the gravity of my situation.
Anything else? I know it's a tough one because she's almost forcing my hand here. Anything you want to say?
I'm in jail over this. If the kids need you, everything will fall apart. The house.
What are you thinking?
When I had a conversation with Emily, Emily's recommendations to jail.
been taking this seriously from day one. I've been doing everything. I've been working so hard from 3:30 till 3 in the morning every day just to try to maintain all of our bills. I got my kids.
When did you lose your job?
It was August 13th, but I wrote something late. It was for me leaving early because I kept getting out at 30 in the morning. I had to leave early a lot of times with kids. My boss, he didn't want to let me go. It's just how the point system works. I was always there. I was always a hard worker. They didn't want to let me go. He even told me if I put my 2 weeks in, he can hire me right back. But I couldn't afford to stop working at the time. I had to keep going. My understanding was that my husband, talking to his chairman every day at work, that they were gonna have him start back work last month, but they're just dragging it on and they keep telling him just be ready to work and it's just creating, all this debt that we're getting and creating him to on this mental breakdown, I've been having to hold it all together on my own. I have a dream, that's why I was lost the first time I had the why. I don't desire to forget all in court, Your Honor. Honest to God. I just have a really hard time balancing all this. I had no choice to ask my mom for help, and he had no choice to ask his peers that he hasn't even talked to for help to pay our mortgage so we don't lose our home. That's all that's going on right now. I have 5 interviews this week. I'm determined to get a job. And he's supposed to start work next week for his mom's husband's work. He's supposed to go out there and just work for him until he gets called back for GM. So that we have something to get us by until then. But I plan on going to work. I want to get a different job other than working from 3:30 to 3 in the morning so I can be there to take the kids to school because they go through all the different schools. And I wanted to work in the morning.
What time was that email?
12:47 p.m.
In the afternoon.
Yes, the DNA would be open between 5 and 7 p.m. that night.
Oh, why didn't you go then? So you're saying your husband's sending something to probation, or at least this is.
And I wasn't able to go because it was only from 6 a.m. till 9. I could only go between 5 and 7.
September 29th.
And I was
Monday.
here.
It was a Monday.
They're always open morning and evening.
Why didn't you go that then?
I couldn't go anymore and I was here. So I
At night. Why didn't you go at night?
can only go between 5 and 7.
At night.
Yeah, I couldn't get there. I didn't have any money. I didn't have.
You can feel the desperation in her voice. Financial struggles, mental health issues, a sick husband, an autistic son. It's heartbreaking. But here's the harsh truth of the courtroom. Emotions don't outweigh evidence. The justice system runs on consistency, not sympathy. Missing a test, no matter the reason, signals unreliability to the court. The judge's expression says it all. She's torn between compassion and duty. Viewers, what side are you on? Should the judge go easier, or is she right to draw the line?
Any transportation. I tried calling everybody. I couldn't get there between 5 and 7. I had all the kids. I had no money. I had no transportation. Everybody was calling me the next morning. My mom was waiting. Usually she's there all the time. Like I could get a hold of her any day, at any time, but I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I've been taking this seriously. I don't miss anything. Even with the sober league.
You missed it.
I think I did everything right.
Ma'am, stop.
I can't.
Stop. Stop. I don't know what's going on with you. If I order a sober link, you're gonna tell me you can't afford the sober link. If I order. Well, you needed to afford the,
Help me. I could have a job by the end of this week. I know I can.
Lisa? Can you hear me, Lisa?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Will Gibraltar send? I don't know where she's gonna go if I give her 3 days. Do you? Where Gibraltar will want to send her?
I'm not sure. I can call and check.
Please do. When is probation scheduled to expire? October 18th, right?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, they said they normally would go to Flat Rock, but Flat Rock does not accept females, so she'll go to Gibraltar or to downtown.
I thought you were gonna tell me that. That was not the answer I was looking for. I do not relish sending people to jail. I don't relish it. But you gotta wake up. No, you're gonna serve 3 days jail. We're gonna put right on the commitment until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. You're be on a SoberLink device for 75 days. To be on SoberLink by 10 a.m. What time do they open? Do you know?
7 a.m.
By 10 a.m. on 10/9/25. You're to pay additional costs of 50, additional probation fees of 80 because I'm extending your probation until February 18 of 26. So you're gonna be on probation until February 18, 26. You're gonna pay additional costs of 50, additional probation fees of 80. You're to serve 3 days jail from now until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. I just want you to think you're to be on a SoberLink device for 75 days until October 9th. Ms. Wyachek, you seem like a really nice person. I think you got to get your life in order. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to. That's the last thing I want. I'm sorry, ma'am. I really am sorry. I really am. Good luck. I'm sorry. And you have to be on that SoberLink by Friday morning at 10. So you're going to be back on a SoberLink by Friday morning at 10 a.m. On Thursday morning, rather.
So
You're getting out Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Yes, ma'am. Right now.
I have to have somebody take me to jail right now.
Yes. You're not going to have them. We're going to lock you up. I'm sorry. We'll let you make some calls. I promise you. Okay?
And just like that, justice is served. 3 days in jail, extended probation, and a mandatory SoberLink device for 75 days. Judge Simpson's message is crystal clear. You can't plead your way out of accountability. This case is a sobering reminder. When the court gives you a chance, it's your job to prove you've earned it. So tell us in the comments, was this ruling fair or too harsh? If you found this breakdown as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts below, and subscribe to Lawful Verdicts for more real courtroom drama and legal analysis that keeps justice front and center